what's going on? It's your boy Tony Loco Soto, and you're watching the Bare Knuckle Show with Brian Soscia, and it's fight week, motherfucker!
I'm coming to hurt you. The mentality is to come finish you as quick as possible.
You got something I want, I'm coming for it.
Shots right hand on the entry. Big shots counter left hand from Soto. Right hand right back from Goodjob. Are you not entertained?
Oh, this is war, baby. Like, we're going to go out there and we're going to throw down.
More big shots left hand, and that drops Coda Greenwood for the second time in this fight.
Greenwood looks very hurt still.
Now with the underhook right to the body, and that drops Bolton. Knockdown number 2.
I got nothing in my headphones, so I don't know if anybody can hear me right now. And I don't even know. Did we play the top of the show, the thing with Tony Soto saying it's fight week? Oh, see, I couldn't hear anything. I don't know what. And this is so embarrassing. Broken Brandon, nothing in my headphones. And we have a lot going on today. We have boss here.
You probably
kicked
the cable out with your feet.
What I don't understand is
Can you
was
hear
a
me?
flawless podcast.
It's not me.
I can hear you through the.
No, he's throwing. You should cut to the camera. The boss is
What is
upset.
going on?
They came see
I
us
can't
off
hear
camera.
shit.
The boss is upset.
You had a spasm last week before the show. I never hear
This is your fault, Socia. You pulled out the.
But this is Brandon's fault for not testing.
Here we are,
Brandon,
big open, man.
Every
We're glad you're
time
here
I'm
with
on
us.
here, I think I go, Brandon, what happened? Brandon, what
That
happened?
is true.
Every
We're beating
time.
up on him pretty good today, but he does a lot of good stuff for the show. So
Brandon,
there
what
he
happened?
is. Look at the
Yeah,
boss.
but can you hear it?
I can't. I can hear you. I can't hear you, but I can hear you now.
I can't hear either.
It's poor Brandon, right?
So why don't we just take the headphones off?
I don't know because there's stuff we need to hear, but we'll start like this. Let's just start like this. I was going to give you a big intro. I'm going to keep my headphones on. I'll let you know when they start working again. So a lot. Look, they're all throwing hearts at us because the boss is in the building. They're saying they're all excited with good reason. We have a lot going on today. We want to get Dave on here really quick before he's got to go. I saw Big Ben and Gator Wrestler in the chat saying that they had a feeling we're going to break some news today. So we are here to break some news with David Feldman. We'll get to that in just a minute. But I want to tell you what the show's looking like today. I've got a lot of stuff coming on. Our buddy Chris Gumby Lytle. Find out why we call him Chris Gumby Lytle a little later. He's coming on with us. Do a Lytle look ahead for this Friday, BKFC 52 in Columbia, South Carolina. And a look back at BKFC prospects from this past weekend in the UK.
Is that Chris's
talk to him
younger
about
brother?
That. Also, Kevin, don't call me Crash Kroom. He doesn't like that name. He's going to join us ahead of his co-main event with Tony Loco Soto, referring to himself as the King of the Carolinas. That'll be fun to talk to him, find out what's going on there. Plus some exclusive comments from Reggie Barnett and the man that's been in his camp with him, Lorenzo Hunt. We're going to find out about that. But, Lorenzo likes to talk, so Lorenzo doesn't stop there. We'll have his thoughts on Chris Camozzi trying to pick another fight with him. Also, Mike Perry was at the Paul fight, and BKFC came up. We'll take a look at what happened, plus a BKFC fighter going back to his rap roots, and we have a little sampling of that for you as he bare-knuckle fights. And now he's here. This was going to be the big announcement, but I'll give it. David Feldman with us. They want us to break news. We're about to break some news. I want to talk about Prospects UK. I want to talk about who got the contracts. But before we get into that, I'm shocked you're even here on time. Dave was sitting in his chair. He was here early, which I can more than I can say for a lot of people to come on here. And you had a pretty, was it last night? Late night in New York. I mean, you were out there with Michael Strahan, Pitbull. I feel like Flo Rida was there. I saw. What was the thing you were at?
Yeah, I was at a it was the Bonaconti Foundation. So I was invited to this thing. A friend of mine invited me up to it. He said there's going to be a lot of celebrities there. It's going to be a good thing for you to network. And I'm like, yeah, let me go. I asked the wife. I said, you want to come to this thing? And she said, yeah, it sounds cool. So we went. And I didn't know that it was the Bonaconti Foundation. I heard of the Bonaconti Foundation before because what they do is they're helping raise money to cure paralysis and neurological damage. And what a lot of people might not know is my mother was actually a quadriplegic, so she was completely crippled from her neck down. She got beat up really bad by somebody. It was tragic. incident that happened, and she got beat up really bad. She was confined to a wheelchair basically for her whole life. So I was like, wow, man, this just makes sense to me, and that's really a foundation I'm going to get behind now, the Bonaconti Foundation. But I was there, and I saw Pitbull was there, and we had talked in the past. Gloria Estefan was there with her husband, Emilio Estefan, who we're trying to do something with right now.
Awesome.
Michael Strahan was there. Jim Furyk was there. It was just a really great networking event. But, I mean, more than anything, it made me like, I actually cried last night because when they were telling stories about how no one, we're all going to stand up together, right? We're going to stand up together because being a paraplegic, you can't stand up, obviously. So we're going to stand up together, and that's 100% a foundation I'm getting behind, the Bonaconti Foundation. Great people. They're doing a thing called the Miami Project in Miami, and they said last night that they are inches away from a cure for paralysis.
That's great. Congratulations. I mean, I know that's been a constant in your life, as you said, with your mother. And let me just throw this, because you said it one time, we talked about your mom. She was a painter. She did it with her mouth, right?
Yeah, man.
That's amazing.
She painted some paintings with her mouth. She put
that's incredible.
The toothbrush in her teeth.
She probably used the toothbrush too. Yeah.
I actually just got emotional for a second, so that's why I had to.
I understand.
I'm getting confused, but yeah, she had a paintbrush in her mouth, and she painted these beautiful, beautiful pictures. She got poems published in a magazine.
That's awesome.
She just did so many things that everybody said that you couldn't do, and it's the same thing as the Bonacontis did as well. They are doing so many things that's great for this tragic illness of paralysis, and I'm really just great to now going to be involved in this.
No, I'm excited that you're going to be involved in that too. Like I said, I know that holds a very special place in your heart. And I don't want to move on from this, but we have to, because everyone is in the chat. Gator Wrestler said he'd like to see those paintings. And here, someone else, we need to bring a painting home. We want to see it. The chat's going nuts. Chris is on here saying Prospects was a great show. I loved it. I mean, you watched it, and now you have some announcement you want to make. Do we have the drum rolls ready for the announcement?
Well, I mean, let me get to it first.
All right, we get the drum roll ready, though.
There were so many really good knockouts. There were some really good fights. So when you pick these contracts, it's hard because you feel like you're leaving people out. But so I asked different people on the team who they thought should get the contracts, and unanimously everybody said Jonah Chipchase. So Jonah Chipchase is going to get a contract, absolutely. And then we had a mixture of a bunch of different guys. They were saying, this guy looked good, this guy looked good. And listen, I just want to tell you guys, I asked you to come out and fight your asses off. You came out and fought your asses off. So if you didn't get a contract this time, I'm going to keep a close eye on you next time to get a contract. But we're also giving a contract to Ray Putarelli, or Ray Putterill. I'm sorry, I couldn't even read.
He's probably screaming so loud he probably didn't hear it. He's excited.
But I saw him. I saw his fight. He looked really, really good. Ray Putterill is getting a contract. And also Andy Thornton. So we're giving a contract to Andy Thornton, Jonah Chipchase, and Ray Putterill.
Congratulations.
All three guys came. They fought their asses off, got some good knockouts. There were so many other guys on that card that I thought were deserving of a contract, but we can't give them all, because if we give you all contracts, we're not going to have any place to fight you, and then you're going to be pissed off at us.
It's smart.
So we have to kind of crawl up the ladder this way, and that's what we're doing. I thought it was a great start for the Prospects series over there. We're dealing with a different production company over there. I feel like the lighting was a little off, and we're going to get that right for the next show. But all in all, the fighters came out. They fought their asses off. They did what we asked them to do. And what we're seeing more and more in these Prospect series as they're growing is that they're really coming to fight their asses off, because they're fighting for a different reason, Brian. They're not just fighting for the money. They're not just fighting, because they want to win. They're fighting because now they had an opportunity to go somewhere else with their career. And I think that's making them fight really, really good.
Well, it's making big fans of it. I was watching social media during the fight, after the fight. Like you said, the production was a little off. That's the only complaint I saw. As far as fights, forget about it. Everyone seemed to enjoy the fight. So that's what we're in the business of, fights. And the production is always going to get a little better as our camera goes out.
In Brandon.
No, the production, it's okay. We're not beating on Brandon too hard today. The production can always get a little better. By the way, that was the longest drum roll I ever heard in my life. The drum roll that you did. Put your headphones on. They're working now. We're all set up. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, I did. We're going to watch that in a little while. Well, I can't have bucked up. It exploded all over me. So, I mean.
So I think.
Isolate that clip. Go ahead.
We're also on here, right, because everybody wants to break some news.
Yeah.
Some real news.
Yeah.
I'm going to break part of that news, but the real news is going to get broke tomorrow.
I understand because I know
So,
you're going off Hawani.
I'm going to break the news that we will be on the Ariel Hawani show tomorrow at 2 p.m. where we will break the news. So we're breaking the news that we're going to break the news. We're going to break the news on the Ariel Hawani show tomorrow. It's about our huge event that we have coming up. The fighters that are, going to be fighting, hopefully will be on that card. Some of them. We have 5 major fights that we're announcing. It's going to be, a huge, huge card for us. We're doing some really big things, and you can tune into the Ariel Hawani show tomorrow at 2 p.m. to catch everything, to catch who's fighting, where's it going to be, when's it going to be, and the whole 9 yards for it. We're very, very excited about it.
Yes.
And, Ariel always gives us a great platform. He's a great fan of the sport now. It's funny because when I was on the show for the first time, he said, how does it feel that your baby grew up and now you're selling it to Triller when we did the part of the Triller deal? And I was like, yeah, look, it's great just proving people wrong, people that said we would never be anything like you, Ariel. And he kind of laughed, but he's a big fan. He's a great dude. Honestly, I really like him. He's done a lot for us. So tune in tomorrow to the Ariel Hawani show, 2 p.m. Eastern time.
And I have to say, Ariel is a great dude because we had a little discussion, me and him, and he came to me first, and it was okayed by me to allow you to put it on his show. I'm telling the truth, right, Dave?
Absolutely.
It'll be a good announcement. I think this has to do with, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if you remember, about a month or so ago, I know Evan might remember, you came in here and you showed Evan something on his phone. Is this the card that his mind was blown over? We didn't see. You wouldn't tell us what it was.
So I showed him 2 things. That's one of the things. The other thing we'll probably announce in 2 more weeks, and that's something major that's going to be happening in February for us. Got a lot of big stuff happening, really. Going to be dropping a lot of really great announcements, a lot of things that we've been working our ass off on. People don't, it's funny because I think I said this before on this show, but I'm like, people just don't get what it takes to put on this kind of show. They say that we make a mistake. We did this. You guys suck. You didn't do this right. Or you didn't do this right. And listen, they're right. Because what they're supposed to see is that beautiful, shiny product at the end that everybody's supposed to see. They're supposed to see it. They're not supposed to see the shit we go through to make it happen. But you guys don't understand what we go through, man.
Insane.
I literally slept 3 hours this entire week so far. I'm trying to make some really, really big things happen. I'm trying to grow this sport. Like I said, next year we're projected to do over 60 events worldwide in 9 different countries. Think about where we started with this thing. We were begging to get a date to do one event in Cheyenne, Wyoming in 2018. In 2024, we'll do more events than any combat sports organization in the entire world will do. We will do that next year in 2024.
Well, that's incredible. That's a lot of events, and we're looking forward to those events. We had a little bit of not actually a pretty big announcement because I think the Prospect Series is really important. So we were able to announce who got the contracts from the UK prospect thing. We appreciate you watching the event, I should say. And we also found out today, although people are complaining in the chat, I'm actually shocked there's so much on our side here. They're like, you need to break news, the huge announcement on Brian's show, on this show, on the Bare Knuckle show, they're saying. But I'm cool, dude. Do it on Hawani because let's be real. Hawani has a bigger reach and it's going to hit more people. So that's why, hold on, I get this the whole build up. That's why you need to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button so we can break more news on here as we get a bigger platform. Go ahead.
Listen, I want to break it on here, right?
Hawani makes more sense.
I do, but it just makes more sense. It's wider, it's more exposure, it's everything we're really looking for. And it's going to be a fantastic show that we're going to announce, and I can't wait for it, man. I really can't.
Can I get any hints, or we can't even do that? Can I get a hint? I don't know.
No.
There's not even like you can cough twice.
Any hint that I give will give the whole thing away.
Can you say the one half of the main event?
No, he's not going to.
Is a certain person fighting?
Everyone's asking about a certain person.
Mike Tyson.
Oh.
Nah, kidding.
Oh, okay.
Kidding.
Well, that might give him a little crumb.
No, look, we're going to drop it tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow, 2 p.m., or tune in to all our social media networks. You'll see it all. It's going to be a great announcement. I can't wait, and I can't really wait until 2024. We have so many great things that are going to happen in 2024. TV deals on the way. We're reviving the app 100%. We just had a great meeting on it yesterday. It's going to be a brand new, hopefully by our December show, it's going to be completely brand new and completely revived. No hiccups, no lagging, no you can't sign up, no you can't watch the event, no none of that stuff. It's going to be completely brand new. We put a lot of time and a lot of money into making this thing happen, and we have to make it happen because we owe it to the fans, especially the fans that are tuning into your show are probably some of the most loyal followers that we have, and
thank you.
And they deserve it. we suck at that. We did, but now we fixed it.
No, that's good. I know there's a big fan in the chat named Dickmund Dickenheimer, and Dickmund Dickenheimer says the UK Prospect Show, he watched on the app, no hiccups. It was a lot better than he even expected. So that's good.
Okay.
And we do appreciate you guys tuning in and stuff. We're supposed to have Kevin Kroom on today. I think he's running a little late. Is he in the virtual green room yet? Not yet. Well, it's good because we got the president on with us. And you have to get on meetings. I don't know how much longer you can stay, but you can stay through the mailbag.
I got 10 more minutes.
All right, let's stay through. You want to stay through the mailbag?
Let's go.
All right. So we typically do this, and we'll do it while we're waiting for Kevin Crash Kroom. He doesn't like to be called Crash anymore. It's just Kevin Kroom.
Make me come over there and snatch you up off that couch. It's time for mail call.
That was almost perfect today. Great job. Thank you. That was a great sounder. So the first thing, there's people that are they cut this out from the last podcast. This came in, I think Tim sent it in. We do the bucked up performance of the night sometimes, the bucked up moment, whatever we call it, knockout of the night. This was sent in. Somebody put that, Tim said that this should be called the bucked up moment of the show. Let's check what happened last week if you missed it at the end of the show.
And knuckle up! Now you gotta do this, ready? Ah! Come on, I'm gonna do it. Ow! Oh.
What was that? Oh my God, are we out?
First of all, right there, what happened, Dave, was I thought they were going to cut off me sooner, but they didn't cut off me, so I had to keep whacking the can on my head till they cut off me, and then the can exploded, so I had to chug it. And Evan was just like, "I want to leave."
That is where you unplugged your headset.
Is that it? Is that what happened?
That's why it wasn't working.
Oh well, I apologize. Sorry about that, but yeah, that was Tim. Hilarious. Thank you for cutting that out and sending it in. This is another great video that we've seen. Reggie training by himself and being a former professional fighter. I'm curious to what you think about Reggie training himself by himself, hitting and getting hit. Here's the video. So there you go. There's Reggie Barnett, who's going to be taking on, of course, Keith Richardson, Rockstar Keith Richardson, this Friday night, BKFC.com. Grab the app. I mean, did you ever train like that?
No, I never really trained like that. I understand what he's attempting to do, and that's condition his skin, condition his hands, do things that are going to condition him for a bare knuckle fight. My fear is that that bag hits him the wrong way in the face and creates a cut, and then he's out of the fight. So we always did things where we wanted to avoid those type of things. But I mean, sparring and doing different things that he's doing. Look, I mean, he's proved that
he's had success.
He's very successful at it. And look, you also have to do things that are going to get views. We're talking about it now, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So it's doing good for him. And I really can't wait for this Friday night. It's going to be an unbelievable fight. I mean, it's one of the most stacked cards we had in a long time. It's not all the huge names on there. It's all great fights, man. Great fights from top to bottom on this card.
I'm excited about it, too. I mean, the main event alone, world title on the line. And Keith Rockstar Richardson has been just tearing through BKFC. He's undefeated. And I feel like Reggie, if you look at Reggie's losses, Johnny Bedford was the guy. And Reggie will say, I retired Johnny Bedford, so he thinks he got a victory kind of there. But if we look... Are you guys watching this? If we look at the, thank God you saved Dave putting Dave's beautiful face up there.
Absolute chaos. It's chaos.
If you watch the Johnny Bedford fights, I mean, he got some problems. Johnny Bedford, I can't even speak. I'm watching these guys fix everything. I'm not a pro. You watch Johnny Bedford when Reggie fought him, and Keith, I think, is going to bring some of that kind of same energy. Keith's not going to back up. Keith's going to go at him, and I'm really looking forward to it for that reason and a lot of other reasons. Like you said, a great card.
I always talk about this when I'm looking for the fighters, the tryouts and the prospect series, and really looking to see who I really am going to pick to win a fight as I look at the reason why. And I see that Keith has a really, really big reason why now. It's a dedication to his father. There's some other things that happened personally in his life, and his why, I think, it could be a problem on Friday night. But then again, you got Reggie Barnett, one of the most well-rounded bare knuckle fighters on the planet. So it's gonna be a great fight, man.
He's been here since day one. I'm looking forward to it too. We're gonna get to Kevin Croom in just a minute. We're running a little late with him, but you know what? Let's just we'll go to Kevin. We'll talk to Kevin, and I think that we can do the rest of this segment a little later because I don't want to keep him waiting in the virtual green room. Kevin Croom, don't call me Crash Croom's here with us. We're going to chat with him and find out what's going on ahead of this Friday night. It's going to be awesome. There he is. Whoa, there's the fashion sense that I love. How are you, Kev?
What's going on, man? How are you guys doing?
So we're like on the road with Kevin Croom. Where are you going to?
Headed to South Carolina, headed to this fight.
Oh, you're driving to the fight. Oh, are you actually driving too?
Yeah, I just pulled to a rest stop.
Okay. I didn't know if you were having... if I was Kevin Croom, I'd demand a driver. That's just what I would do.
Well, I got my buddy, but I like to be in control, you know?
I know, and you're looking to be in control coming up this Friday night, man. We're looking forward to it. Tony Soto, undefeated 5-0. Kevin Croom, undefeated 2-0. As they say, somebody's O's got to go. I'm just happy you're here because I have been noticing, and I think Tony's been noticing too. Tony likes to have his fun on social media. You know, he put on I don't know if you saw it, the mullet wig, and he's joking around about being you. But we haven't seen you fire back at all. You've been pretty quiet on social media. So I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad you're ready to go. Why? Why not answer on social media?
I mean, it's not worth my energy. You know what I mean? Like if I say something back, then he's going to say something back, and now I'm just caught up in an energy suck of something that doesn't really matter to me. He doesn't matter to me. What he thinks about me doesn't matter to me. He has to fight me.
Yeah.
On the 20th, we will fight. It doesn't matter, you know. So yeah, man, I'm just doing my thing.
Where are you at with Tony? I mean, he has to fight you. You're not letting him suck the energy out of your brain and mentally, out of your body, out of everything. But where are you at with him as far as a fighter? Do you rank him as a fighter? Do you rank him as a good fighter? What are your thoughts on him?
I mean, yeah, he's a good fighter. He's ranked number 3. You know, like I mean, at this level, we're all good fighters. I don't think he's good enough. And we're gonna find out.
Yeah, that's kind of how I should have phrased the question. Is he good enough to beat a Kevin Croom on top of his game? But if you look at Tony, I mean, and we kind of talked about this when I spoke with Tony. He's fought more dudes. He's fought more people. He said this on his live yesterday, actually. He's fought more dudes and better dudes than Croom. You've seen the roster of people he's fought in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Do you agree with that statement?
I fought the best people all over the world, so he can keep dreaming.
All right, great answer. So you have fought the best people over the world. We've seen what you've done in your career. You've been in UFC. It's been great to watch your career. Now here you are, but why did you come to Bare Knuckle? We haven't talked to you a lot, so we didn't get to that part of it. We know you're just walking through people, but why are you here? What are your goals?
I mean, obviously I want to get a belt. I want to get strapped up. But man, it's fun. It's awesome. It looks like fun. It's just the basic, 2 guys in there, no gloves, no nothing, no protection. Let's see who the bigger man is, And that's my type of shit.
Yeah, we can tell, man. I mean, banging bombs and banging moms, dropping bombs, whatever you say. That should be a T-shirt. I'm waiting for the T-shirt. I'll wear it. I like your post-fight interviews. You're a guy with a lot of personality. So we're looking forward to see what you're going to do here in every aspect, and especially the fight. In your estimation, I know what I feel, but I want to hear from you. What do you think the fans can kind of expect out of this fight?
Oh, I mean, this is it's going to be a banger. Yeah, 2 people who come straight forward at each other and don't mess around. This is definitely going to be a good fan fight. And I'm going to get them in there. I'm going to wear them down, and I'm going to finish them.
Yeah, everyone in the chat, I'm looking at the chat right now. I know you're driving, so you can't see, but they're all excited for this fight. The same thing you're saying, it's going to be a fight for the fans. You two are just going to go at it.
Yeah.
So where do you go? I mean, you said you want to get strapped up and all. You want to get a belt. That's your ultimate goal. But after Tony Soto, if and when you beat him, when that happens, because I know you believe it, so where do you go? Where's your career headed after this?
I mean, I see a title fight, coming pretty quickly. He's ranked number 3 at the moment. So yeah, take him out impressively. Why not? So
Tony's last fight with Tyler Goodjohn, we've talked about that a lot on this show. It's been talked about on social media. He was yelling about a rematch that I don't think is going to come. What did you think of Tony's last fight? He won by unanimous decision, but some kind of thought that wasn't the case. Where were you at with that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't think that's his best performance. You know what I mean? Like, I think he showed a lot of holes and a lot of places that I'm gonna pull ahead of him. You know.
Well, we're looking forward to see what you do. And the other thing is, I want to talk a little bit outside the fight. What do you do outside of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship? I mean, is this a full-time gig? Do you have another gig? Do you have hobbies? What do you do? I mean, you obviously go shopping for cool merchandise or cool stuff, cool apparel, cool sunglasses, big sunglass shopper.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I got a couple different things I do. I build decks and fences, and also me and my buddy own a real estate company, the Realist Real Estate.
What is that the name of it? Is that the name of it? The Realist Real Estate?
Yes, sir.
Did you come up with that?
Yeah. I wanted it to be Realist Estate, but then my buddy was like, "How about the Realist Real Estate?" And I was like, "Okay, I like the Realist Estate better though."
Yeah, but Realist Estate sounds like somebody's dying and you're taking over their estate. The Realist Real Estate makes more sense. I like the Realist Real Estate better. I think it's good. I think it's a great name. So if you're where are you guys? You're out of Kansas, right?
Yeah, I'm Kansas City, Missouri.
So if you're doing stuff in real estate, the Realist Real Estate, look them up. I don't know how you passed the real estate test. I feel like that would be super hard to do. I couldn't have done it, so good for you.
Yeah. I didn't. Thankfully, I didn't have to. My buddy has. He's the brains. I'm just the good looks. You know what I mean?
So you just need to know how to count money, right? That's all you need to know, and you're good. That's the best business to be in, bro.
Right. Check my account.
Straight up, just check it once a day, see how far it's going up. I like that. So as far as building the decks and the fences, look, that's not easy work. Obviously, it's not. But there's a lot of money in it. I know a neighbor of mine was trying to get a deck put on, and they couldn't afford it. They went another way. So good for you. Good for you doing that. But that's got to be hard work, a lot of work. So now you're working. Have you taken time off for the fight to train, or are you doing both things at once? What's happening?
Yeah, man. I've been pulling 12, 13-hour days, working out twice, putting in 8-10 hours. Yeah, man. I've been working my ass off.
Good, man. Did you just say 12, 13-hour days?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So, and you still seem pretty upbeat. You obviously love the fighting game. That's a part of it. You're building your legacy here. So those 12 to 13-hour days are not easy, but are they torturous for you? Or I've heard other fighters say, who was it? Joe Elmore recently just said that he liked the guy he was fighting, but it made him mad that this guy was making him work extra hard kind of thing. Where are you at with that?
I mean, yeah, man, it's a grind, and then the last couple of weeks have been exhausting, but got the full week off. Had a fight, everything's getting good. So I mean, it's exhausting, but this is the life. This is what I do. This is what I got to do. So let's go, baby.
So how long's the drive for you that you're on right now, headed to the show?
It's 14 hours.
Oof. Are you guys just trading, doing it all in one day? You stopping? What are you doing?
Nah, man, we'll probably try to get 10 in today, and then have an easy drive tomorrow, probably.
Where's your fashion sense come from? You're actually pretty kind of dialed down today, believe it or not. I've seen you with these giant multicolored fur coats. Where did that come from?
Man, I like to do something I call power clashing. You know what I mean?
Power clashing.
Where it's just it's just you put on, if you see my pants, I don't know if you can see my pants, but I like two wild, crazy things that shouldn't go together, and I make them go together, and
Works out.
I like to wear all my favorite stuff at once, so that's where power clashing comes from.
He's a real fashionista, this guy. I look at, were they Zubaz you were wearing? Is that what they were, or were they just sweatpants?
No, they're sweatpants, but they look like the Japanese ocean, like that painting of the Japanese ocean.
You got to get yourself some of those. You got to get some. Back in the day when I was younger, the Zubaz were real big. Everyone would wear them. You got to get some. I think that would work, man. I really do.
Yeah, she gets some.
Listen, before I let you out of here, before I let you go, as excited as we are about the fight, another thing I want to touch on. I just saw this literally before we went on the air. I just want to get your thoughts on it. I don't know the whole story. I've seen it reported online, but you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I saw that dude Tim Elliott is sponsoring Tony, which we have a graphic of it here. Which, I mean, look, that's. I don't know how you feel about it. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who wants to pay someone to get beat up, I mean, that's cool. That means more people will line up.
So, what's your thought on that whole thing? I mean, other than that, so that doesn't bother you. You kind of think it's kind of funny.
I just told you what my thoughts are. Yeah, man, I give no fucks. Whatever.
All right, there you go. So I thought that was interesting, and I thought it was cool that Tim. Hey, again, another way you can look at it is another fighter's helping another fighter, whether they're getting beat up by you or not. We're all in this together, so they're kind of putting the green toward him a little bit.
For sure.
So, all right, that was a fun thing, and the chat was going wild too. They're like, ask him about Tim sponsoring him. Ask about Tim sponsoring him. So there you go. Chat's happy now. They're really excited. But listen, Kevin, we're very excited to watch your fight. BKFC.com. Hop in there, grab that app. It's only $7.99 a month, and this fight alone's worth the $7.99 for this month. You can't beat it.
You're right.
I know I'm right. I know that, man. Hey, you got any cool like on the promo post? You got the cool little Swervo Cruz would know about. He's one of our barbers that watch. You doing anything with the sides of your hair? You still have the little lines in the side? There he is.
I got the line. You know what I mean? I got the line.
You're throwing it back to the 90s, man. I love it.
Let's go, baby. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go. Let's go see the fight. BKFC, Columbia, South Carolina. Kevin, don't call me Crash Kroom before we let you go. Why is it not Crash anymore? Why'd you get rid of the nickname? Do you have a new one, or you didn't like it?
Dog, man, I got so many nicknames. I've been doing this for like 17 years. People have been calling me so many things my whole life. Man, I'm just Kevin Kroom. Call me whatever you want. But, man, it's, Kevin Kroom. That's good enough.
He's like, no gimmicks needed, Kevin Kroom. He's just going to show up and beat ass. That's all. He just beat your ass. It's simple as that.
That's right. That's right.
Pay me to be your hype man. Look at me go. I'll wear the clock like
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I'll dress like you, too. It'll be great. I should have dressed like you for this interview. But you're awesome, Kevin. We appreciate you coming on. We were on the road with Kevin Kroom today, seeing what his road trip looked like. Let me see body of your friend, too. What's his name?
This is Sean.
Sean. Nice to see you.
Hell yeah. Right on, boys. I'll see you later.
Sean, you better get behind that wheel. Let Kevin rest a little bit. We'll see you later, Kevin. Thank you for your time. And you got to dress better. He's dressed. He's actually matching. What the hell's the matter with that guy? What are you doing? All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on, Kevin. I wish you a great fight. There goes Kevin Kroom. Don't call him Crash. No gimmicks needed. He's ready just to kind of take names, take titles. He's looking to beat Tony Soto on his way to that world title that he's looking for. So we're excited for that fight. That's going to be an awesome fight. BKFC.com. Grab that app. I know Chris Lights Out Lotto, he's on the way soon coming in. We kind of threw things off pace a little bit. We didn't even know Dave was coming on. I got people sneezing on me. I don't know if you heard that in the background. But while we have time, while waiting for Chris Lights Out Lotto, let's just kind of get back to what we were looking at, Brandon. One of the things I wanted to talk about was the Mike Perry being at the Paul fight. And I don't know how many people saw this. We put it on our social media. There was a mention of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and I think it's very interesting to show you what other fighters think of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Almost how, honestly, who was it? Chad Mendez told us this. I think Alvarez told us this. I think it was something similar to 50% of the people, like in UFC and combat sports, think it's awesome. 50% are scared shitless to do it. So let's kind of show that clip. You'll see what those people meant by how this goes. It's from the Paul fight with Mike Perry here.
Well, they said that Dylan Dennis might not turn up today.
I really want the winner of the main event. Let's go. MMA though. The other main event. We can do MMA. No bare knuckle. No bare knuckle. Come on.
And there you go. No bare knuckle. No bare knuckle. So we'll do whatever. We'll make sure the money's good, but I'm not doing bare knuckle. And I think some athletes just feel that way. And then they end up coming over and they're like, this is it. This is my lane. This is where I need to be. So Mike Perry out there, love it. Spreading the word of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship throughout the weekend. That's always a good thing. Another thing I want to look at is Lorenzo Hunt. Somebody sent this into the email, and I don't think we put it up there yet. If you can put that email up real quick. If you have anything you want to send in, thebareknuckleshow@gmail.com. This is pictures of you and fighters, you and I, you and whoever you see at the events. We'll try to put them on the wall. We continuously try to do that. You can send them again. Anything you have, thebareknuckleshow@gmail.com. Even if you interview a fighter or you think something's cool, think something should be featured on the show, put it up there. This is really cool. Lorenzo Hunt's past life. And I am so uncool. I stopped listening to rap for the most part, probably early 2000s. So I'm going to say Lil Yachty. Is that right? Yachty? I don't know. Maybe somebody can correct me. Am I saying it right?
Little Yai.
Little Yai? All right, I don't know. You guys know better than I do. But this is cool because Lorenzo Hunt was apparently a security guard for him. Somebody found this on YouTube and sent this into us. Watch him just like Goldberg spear this guy off the stage. It's incredible. Watch it again. Perfectly with the beat of the song, too. Listen, here it goes. It's like, oh no, or something. Yeah, watch. There's Lorenzo in red. Boom! Boom. Dude, to me, that was amazing. There you go, Lorenzo Hunt. Great bare knuckle fighter, but also obviously a great guy to work security for you. I mean, that was right off the stage. That was right off the stage. We're going to get to Chris Lytle in just a second. Oh, we already talked about this with Kroom. If you haven't seen it, Tim Elliott sponsoring Tony Loco Soto for his fight against Kevin Kroom. If you don't know, Tim Elliott is obviously the guy that, there it is, that caused that had some problems caused at his wedding. I believe Kroom was his best man and then ended up being with his wife, and I think he still is with the wife now. So Tim was none too happy. I'm not talking out of turn. This was all over the internet, but I think it's kind of funny that Tim Elliott now sponsoring Tony Loco Soto. All right, let's get to Chris Lights Out Lytle. He's in the virtual green room. Always like to talk to Chris. Lights Out. There he is. Chris, with a big smile. How are you?
Man, and it's I think it's Lil Yay, not little. Come on, man.
You guys said Lil.
Lil.
I know you're a big fan of the rap industry. Who's your favorite current rapper?
Geez, you don't put me on the spot. Run DMC, are they still living?
I think one of them's dead.
Who we got?
Run DMC. That's kind of Run DMC. LL Cool J, Danny Dane, Cinderfella, great song. Yeah. If you remember, Slick Rick was the man. I could go back and I could go with Dr. Dre. I could go with Snoop. Late 90s, early 2000s. Then I'm out of it because now I feel like a lot of them just go and they don't make sense. You can't hear what they're saying. It's auto-tune. It's terrible. That's my opinion.
I'm pathetic on anything like that, man. I listen to like podcasts and nerd out on, economic stuff or something like that. I'm not listening to much music anymore.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. I get it. If you had to pick a song, like let's say, what are you into, rock? Who do you like? Like, what's the latest song you can remember liking? I'm curious. Even if it was like 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
I don't know, man. Like the last time I put on Pandora, just it was like 21 Pilots, and there's just a lot of songs that like stuff like that. So I thought that was a pretty good little loop.
So that must be what you like. I was thinking, I kind of thought you might be like a Metallica guy or something. No?
Well, I like them too, man. I pretty much like a lot except for country. I'm not a big country music guy, but besides that,
I like country music. Richard Petty, still the king. When
my dog got hit, my truck got hit, I'm out. I don't like that stuff.
I don't think New Country's is much like that, but I country an exploding format on the radio. It's one of the things that's left on the radio still. Chris, we're happy you're here with us. We appreciate you being here. We always like to chat with you. I actually thought you were going to do, I've noticed as I watch, I call it the Lytle strut now. I don't know if people have noticed this. When I watch the BKFC tryouts, like when you're in Salt Lake City, the one we just put up, you always have this strut when they film you. Like when you walk away or when you're walking toward the camera, you got this cool strut. Do you always walk like that? Is that just for the camera? I mean, you can see if you watch the show on the app. It's clear.
I don't even know what you're talking about, so I think that's just my walk. So I'm not doing anything different because I'm on. They film you for so long, you don't even think about being on the camera. It's just if you can put up a front that long, congratulations. I just don't care enough about how cool I look or don't look. I don't try.
I call it the Lytle stride. You got glide in your stride. It's just you'll see if you watch it when he walks like off camera. He's got this strut. You look like you're the man. You are the man. We also my main man at the top of the show. We also announced you as Chris Gumby Lytle. Or excuse me, Gumby Lytle. Gumby. I corrected myself. Gumby. Not a lot of sleep last night, Chris. I apologize. But
Brian, when you come to these fights, Sean Wheelock's supposed to be having some mat made up. We're going to do some jiu-jitsu. We're going to roll a little bit. You'll see him like, man, he is kind of Gumby-like.
I don't want to roll with you. I don't want to get punched by you. I just want to shake your hand and tell you what a good guy you are so you don't beat me up.
Are you going to shake it like this?
The wrestler shake. He remembers the wrestler shake. Look it up. If you're a fan of pro wrestling, you can look that up what he means. I'm not supposed to talk about it. I can't do it. That's the wrestler shake. Yes, it's very interesting. That's supposed to be hidden. That's like a magician giving away their secrets, Chris. What are you doing? But
I didn't say anything about wrestling. That was you.
I know. Well, it got me excited. Yeah, you did. You kind of was inside. I blasted that one open. Well, look it up or ask us at a show. You'll know. And the Gumby reference was because Chris told us a couple weeks ago that was his nickname growing up, and he mentioned that if you call him that, he'll punch you in the face. So you might not want to call him that. I'm kind of nervous to see him now as we head to Columbia, South Carolina. BKFC 52. Grab the app, bkfc.com. You can get it there. Chris, we'd like to have you on because you've done bare knuckle. You've done combat sports for your entire life. You're an expert. You call the action with Sean Wheelock. So we kind of like to pick your brain if people are trying to maybe lay some bets down and stuff like that, what they should be looking at, what they see. Let's just talk about it. What do you see on this card coming up? There's a some great fights. We were talking about David Feldman with that earlier. We were talking to him earlier. I mean, just start maybe. Is there a sleeper fight or a fight you're really looking forward to on this card? We always like to find that out.
Man, there's just a lot of good cards. I mean, Kirkland Carson, he's been really good. You know, Ace Samples, that I talked to him. That guy is ultra confident right now. Sorry about that. So a lot of good possibilities. And Chevy Bridges, I mean, he's ready to go again. You know, I got a guy I've trained with before, Cameron Van Camp, on the card. You know, he's fought in the UFC. So I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the cards we have, you know, I always find some of the good fights, and I'm excited. But a lot of the times I'm like, this isn't a great card. This card right here is phenomenal. You know, I was really looking forward to this card. I'm so excited that it's actually here. So I cannot be happier with the fact that this card is actually here. I think this is going to be one people watch. So, man, that's what's up. That's why Bare Knuckle is going to take over, because of cards just like this. I think it's going to be that good.
Yeah, and we have people we've seen on here before. Like I just saw Chevy Bridges make his return. Bouchal, he's making his return. It's exciting to see these guys coming back for more action. And then, like, as we grow, you get to know them, and then you invest in them. And you're like, oh, this guy's back. Oh, I love this fight. You know, so I'm excited too, and I think the fans are. I mean, look at the co-main event. We were just talking to Kevin, Don't Call Me Crash Kroom, and that guy, him and Tony Soto, that's going to be like what the fans love about Bare Knuckle, in my estimation. It's going to be a war. They're just going to come forward and just bang. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and that right there is why I think people are going to watch and be like, man, two people come to fight. You know, both of those guys are going to come to fight. They're going to lay it out there, and that's what you want to see. You don't want to see two guys who are at that high level, like, hey, whoever wins this might get a title fight. And usually those fights suck. They're boring. Usually they're too afraid to lose. I've been there. I've done it once, and I was like, I'll never do it again. And so you get bad fights. You're not going to get that with these guys. They're going to come to fight, and that's all I want. But that's why I love this sport. That's why I love this organization, because we're going to put guys in there who come to fight. And if not, we're going to take care of them. Like, all right, we're not going to put you back in that spot, because we want guys who come to fight. That's what we get.
Yeah, and you hear Dave Feldman say that all the time at press conferences, and he'll call the fighters out. It's very transparent. I think that's great, because some guys will just try to keep pushing the narrative. Oh, what a great fight. The people know that if the fight sucks, the fight sucks. Dave calls it out, and then we kind of move on from it. And I think that says a lot about him as a leader and as a guy that, you know, is a founder and president of the company. I mean, that's great. You don't always hear that. But you mentioned a minute ago about you've been in fights where you've maybe not, I don't want to say I haven't fought as hard, but have been a little nervous, or maybe one time. Yeah, I put an S on that. I'm sorry, it was one time. And I know, one and done with you. But what was going through your mind with that? Because we have a title fight here in the main event. And I don't want to see either one of those guys go through it, but I'm curious, what was going through your mind? Why did you do that?
Well, that was when I got done with the Ultimate Fighter, you know, and I worked really hard on that. And, you know, whoever makes it to the finals, you know, there was about $200,000 on the line, a bigger contract, a fight for the title. And then you get about 5 months in between your fights while they edit the show, play the show, and it builds up. So you had a 5-month period. And that money then was game changer for me. I wasn't making hardly any money in fights. I was, you know, people forget I was in the UFC. My first fight, I made $2,000, you know, so it was a different world. And so that money was huge to me and my family. So there was so much, like, guys, the whole 6 months or 5 months leading up, I was thinking, I can't lose this fight. I can't lose this fight. And both of us went out there and we fought not to lose. We didn't fight to win. And I see that a lot. I see when there's a lot on the line, all you're thinking is, I got to win. I can't lose. I can't lose. And you can't just be out there in the moment and fight. You can't just throw caution to the wind and let it and risk anything. You have to be willing to risk things. And if you got, you know, a huge difference in pay and all the opportunity and all this on the line, you're not going to fight good a lot of times. It takes a lot to mentally get over that. But I think our guys are just going to come out and bang and just, you know, luckily for us, there's not, you know, too much on the line yet. I think there will be more and more as we grow.
Of course. And another thing I was looking at, I don't know if you know this, you probably do because you're pretty astute. You're studied up on the game here. I saw that Keith Richardson was getting some gym time in with Tony. And, of course, Tony in the co-main, Keith in the main. And then the other thing I noticed, and I think this is going to, that obviously is going to benefit both of them, but I think this is going to benefit Reggie a lot. And Reggie's already talented. We've seen him, bare knuckle OG. He's been here since day one. But now he added to his arsenal, and we're going to watch some clips on this later, exclusive clips. He was training with Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt, who is arguably number 1, people would say, but he's number 2 at this point, pound for pound, the best bare knuckle fighter in the world. So now you have number 2 in Lorenzo and number 3 in Reggie coming together like mad scientists and learning all kinds of stuff. That's got to be a huge benefit for both guys, especially Reggie headed into this fight. Huge.
Well, I mean, Reggie, to me, he's been one of our most technical guys. He's changed everything over to be a very good bare knuckle fighter. I think I've said for a while, he's probably our most technical guy in all BKFC. And I've worked out and done enough with just some of those guys who go down there to Puerto Rico, Elvin and Lorenzo. I know, man, they've broken everything down and said, this is what works, this is what doesn't, and this is why. And Reggie's the same. So you got some of our most thoughtful technical fighters getting together and creating and going at it with each other. That's unbelievable. The only thing I think that Richardson really has going for him in this is he can do kind of whatever. We saw when he fought Scoggins, he can be a dog. He can go out there and trade, or he can be a knockout guy. He's going to have to really push Reggie if he wants to win this fight. And I mean, get in his face and make it a rough fight. That's what he can do. That's his path to victory. Make it a really rough fight, going in there and just being a dog, not trying to be out technical Reggie, because you're not going to do it.
Yeah, Reggie claims he's done going 5 rounds. He's done being a, quote, point fighter. He's here to show a different side of himself, and I'm excited to see what happens with that. And, the thing is, if he's sparring with Lorenzo, and I don't know if Lorenzo said this when we spoke to him, we'll see in a couple minutes, but if he's sparring with Lorenzo for a week, couple weeks, however long he was there, Lorenzo's a bigger, heavier guy, and that's got to be very beneficial, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're professionals. They know what they're doing. You're going to go out there and get good work in, but you're not going to go out there and kill each other. So
no, but just a heavier guy. I'm saying a heavier guy leaning on you a little more. And then when you're fighting Keith, the guy's not as big. And this is something I spoke with Lorenzo about. He thought was pretty beneficial. So I do too. I mean, they're both amazing fighters. So I can't wait to see what they've learned from each other, because they can only level up and trade secrets, which I'm sure they did. So that'll be a great fight too, the main event. Anything else you're really looking forward to on this card, Chris?
Geez, just to let you know, like I said, almost every fight on there is a good one. Chevy Bridges, he's coming back. Looking forward to seeing that, since, when you look at, just the people he's lost to, they've been nothing but just top tier guys. Samples looked fantastic his first fight. Trucker Carson looked so much improved his last fight. I mean, every fight on here is one I'm pretty excited about. The more you get into something like, don't know this guy, don't know that guy, I'm kind of knowing all these guys, So that makes it phenomenal when you know a lot of these people and you know their background and you've seen them fight a couple times, you've seen the growth, because it's amazing to me. We've had guys who fought the first time, I thought this guy's not good. And the second time, like, whoa, what an improvement. There's a huge jump between that first and second fight. There's also, like, between 3 and 4, there's a huge jump, I feel like. So you don't really know what you're getting sometimes, but I see potential. So that's what makes me think, man, this could be a special card.
In my estimation, you got to get in there once. Most guys, women too, they got to kind of feel it out and not just train, but feel what bare knuckle is. And you're right, you can see the development. The cool part is we're so young now. You're watching this development. It's almost like early UFC. You're watching the development. You're watching styles blend. You're watching things that might work for some, don't work for others. Then they're combined. It's great. It's very important time to be a fan. And if you're on the ground floor, and I know you are if you're watching this because you're a hardcore fan, it's the best place to be right now. The best place to be this Friday night is going to be Columbia, South Carolina, BKFC.com. Grab those tickets. Still a few remaining. And if you can't grab tickets, you can't be there live, which I'd love for you to be there live, make sure you grab it on the app. It's just $7.99 a month, and this car alone's worth $7.99 in my estimation. Chris Lights Out Lytle, some call him Gumby. I won't call him that. You can if you want to take the chance. I'm not going to take the chance anymore. I'm looking forward to seeing you at BKFC 52 this Friday night, my friend.
My man, we're sparring, we're grappling, we're doing it all Thursday or something. That'd be fun.
I'll be hiding in my hotel room. You'll have to find me. All right. Chris Lights Out Lytle, thank you, man. I'm not going to spar with that guy. Evan, you going to spar with that guy?
Yeah, I mean, if he wants it, he can come get it.
Oh, Lord. I hope he's still watching. We're going to, if that happens, we need to film Lytle and Evan sparring. I think that would be a great thing. Do you want to see that? Let us know in the chat. All right, so a couple more things to get to before we get out of here. I want to give you some exclusive content. You're not going to get this anywhere else because they don't have the access that we do, obviously. But support all the podcasts. We love them. I mean, just keep them coming. Keep the podcast coming. It only helps the industry. But this is some exclusive stuff. Very important to tell you that. Lorenzo and Reggie, we just talked about that with Lytle. They kind of buddied up. They were coaching each other. They were training together. And I had an opportunity to speak with them when they were together. Let's just watch that clip of what Lorenzo thinks and kind of Reggie hanging out with him. See what Reggie thinks too.
So my overview of me and Reggie getting together is pretty much it's all bad for our opponents. We fill each other's gaps. If you think about it, I land, I'm precise, I'm quick with the power. I've given you a bunch of short fights. Reggie Barnett is the man when it comes to torturing fighters. He will torture fighters, and it just never ends. Just he doesn't even throw with intentions of ending the fight. He just tortures them round after round until their body breaks down and gives up. So us being able to blend those two styles, you know, a little more power and for him and a little more torturing people for me, I think that we'll see a lot more explosive fights into the future. And this one that's coming up is going to be no different. Some of these guys are stronger than they are smart. That's a nice way of calling them stupid, which means he will press and press and press, and his body will just fall apart. I predict a doctor's stoppage. Somebody will have to get in there and basically save him from himself. Reggie Barnett is too precise. He's too fast. He's too aggressive, and he has a very, very sneaky way of hiding that aggression. And it just turns into a phenomenal punch count. And these guys take a lot of damage, and then, you know, somebody has to look from the outside like, hey, stop. Please stop. Please stop. Because it gets dangerous, you know. I'm a one and done kind of guy. Reggie will give you a few hundred.
Well, there you go. The chat is loving this. So just so you know context, we were talking to Reggie. Lorenzo was there, so we had Lorenzo jump in the shot. People loving what Lorenzo's saying, some agreeing with it, but a lot of people laughing because they're saying that. Let's see. Let me read these to you. Looks like the poster from the movie Step Brothers. Andrew Martin says, Gator Wrestler saying Reggie looks like he's sitting on Lorenzo's knee.
Kind of looks like a ventriloquist.
Yeah, right? Weird angle, gentlemen. Not sure how I feel about sitting between another man's legs. He was just down next to him. It looks different on the angle. Is this the Jeff Durham special? Somebody asked. Seating arrangement is definitely funny, Mike says. Well, there you go. But I think Lorenzo had some great stuff, great points there, and we're excited to see what that does for Reggie and what it's going to do for Lorenzo. I mean, two guys, two of the best in the world working together. That's huge news to me. The other thing I want to talk about, you know, Lorenzo's never at a loss for words. And you may have seen Chris Camozzi posting this on his stories. I think it was like last week we saw this. We have some screenshots of what he was saying. He's saying, "Where are you, Juggernaut? Most think you didn't win. You definitely." I can't read it from right. You can read it. There you go. So that's one. Most think you didn't win. Thank you. Most you definitely posting over and over like you didn't. So he's basically saying you didn't win. And then he went on to say something else after that. There's another screenshot we have, I believe, there. Here's more. One way to make the one way I can't have my glasses on to make a champ. Thank you. You guys are great. I've let Bare Knuckle know it's an open challenge. You can see what he's saying. He wanted to fight in Thailand and winner take all, no round limit. So there you go. That's what Chris Camozzi's looking for. And since we had Lorenzo there for a minute, bet you won't. He says you're crying at the fourth, at the fifth. You didn't know. You knew you didn't win. Tell me I'm wrong. So there you go. Tell me when I'm telling a lie kind of thing he's saying there. So we brought that to Lorenzo, thinking maybe there'd be something there. We really didn't know. But here's what Lorenzo had to say to Chris Camozzi.
Hey, Chris Camozzi. How you doing, buddy? I hope you all healed up and stuff, man. I saw some weird stuff on the internet. You posting about running it back, running a rematch and all of that. You know, I admire your spirit. I told you that when you initially called me out. I told you that it was premature, and I told you what I would do to you. I am a master. I am the best bare knuckle fighter in the world, and if you had respected that, you'd still have a leg to stand on in the BKFC. You could have been the big fish in the small pond of Denver and just kept beating up them little debuters. You would have made a little more money. But now that you have nowhere to go, you're continuing to call me out and to hopefully try to create some sort of buzz for yourself. there's nowhere to go here. I'm moving on to bigger and better things. I will be the first 3-division world champ defending all belts simultaneously. I am a king in the BKFC. Address such.
Address me as such.
Stay in your lane.
Okay, there we go. Address me as such. Stay in your lane. There you go. Stiff words from Lorenzo. Doesn't look like we'll see a Camozzi rematch anytime soon, at least not in his estimation. He's been saying this for a while. He wants to be the first 3-division champion. We're excited to see where it goes. If anybody can do it, Lorenzo can do it. The guy's very talented. So we're looking forward to that. But there you go. To answer Chris Camozzi back, we want to get that for you. Another thing I want to remind you about is if you don't check the app all the time or even BKFC.com, we have some great news stories up there. And I know we're going to show a couple up there, give you kind of a sampling of what we have. This is just recently. Here's one. Unbeaten Kevin Kroom, who we just spoke to, happily enters hostile territory at BKFC 52. A great article, somewhat of an interview, a couple quotes in there. You might want to check that out at BKFC.com. There's a lot of other stuff we have at BKFC.com too. There's Brett Fields. He was recently on the show. I got a lot of feedback saying you guys enjoyed the interview, enjoyed how far he's come as a human being, and excited to see him fight more. So check out the Brett Fields article. Some great quotes in there as well. And then you have the BKFC 52 rankings report, basically just telling you about who's ranked, the implications. It's all up there, BKFC.com or on the BKFC app. Big fan of that. You might as well check it out because it's all there for you to see. And then last but certainly not least, I want to get to this before we get into the calendar of events. There's a guy that I saw on social media. I mean, this guy, I don't know if you saw it, Evan. I don't know if you saw it, Brandon, but this guy had stacks of 100s, like money I've never seen. He's like, I don't normally flex. I don't sound cool when I say that. He sounded cool. He's like, but I'm going back. A lot of y'all don't know I'm a rapper. I'm going back to rapping. I'm still going to do bare knuckle. And I actually DM'd him. I said, yo, what's up with the rap career? You're going to give us a sample? Can we hear some stuff? He said, it's going to be out soon, but not yet. But what I found on YouTube was one of our fighters kind of doing, it's in Spanish. So if you know Spanish, you're in luck. It's in a rap video. So this is Brian Duran. It's a while ago in a rap video, and he's going to be releasing some new stuff soon. Just to give you an idea, here it is.
Aprendí de mis errores, aprendí de mis derrotas, aprendí de mis menores, aprendí de mi gran moda. No me importa lo que digan, solo tiran por la boca. Cuando tiran con la plica y se les tranca, nunca explota.
I don't know what he was saying, but I like the point. It was like, I don't know. Something about dinero in there, it seemed like. Evan, are you a Spanish-speaking American?
Yeah.
Do you know anything he said?
I wasn't listening. I was making fun of you.
Are you making fun of me for looking at the wrong camera?
No, because your just delivery to get to the video takes so long.
Yeah,
like,
I'm sorry about that.
We're gonna watch a video coming up here.
It's called a setup. It's a professional. You've never worked in it. You've never worked. Shut your fucking mouth, because you've never worked. You've shot fights, which is great, but you've never worked at the level. Yeah. The level that I fucking worked at. I'm tired of your shit. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not joking anymore. I'm sick of it. Shut your fucking mouth. Just kidding.
How come you didn't set that up? You said, look, Evan, now I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you all about it. And what I'm going to say is...
No, you have to set things up so you don't get it. And that was a joke. I love you.
Long setup.
You know I love you. It is what it is. I'm sorry that you're telling me how to do my show.
I don't like it.
Thanks for telling me how to do my show. You're amazing. Look, let's see what they're saying. Oh, they're nervous in the chat now. They're nervous of what I'm going to do to Evan. I'm not going to do anything to Evan. Evan and I are buddies. It's a joke. Evan versus Brian, let's go. I don't want to fight. It's a joke. All right.
That's right.
So I don't know what he said in that video, but I know he's talking about dinero. I know he's talking about... I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. I wish I did. But I'm excited to see what he's going to do as far as his rap career. He's going to keep us updated. We'll play more for you. They like this. They like this. They like the pro wrestling anger of Brian. All right, let's get to this before we get out of here. Let's do a calendar of events so you can keep updated. Again, you can find them all at bkfc.com. Andrew Martin, I love that. You never know. You never know if I'm being real or not. All right, we're looking forward to this Friday night. You know about that. We've been talking about it all day. BKFC 52. BKFC 52, bkfc.com. Grab that app. It's up there. I mean, that's going to be, we've talked about the card all day. No need to go further. It's going to be awesome. And then after that, you see the November schedule coming up. We're going to be at the Olympia, Mr. Olympia. You've heard of that. It's a huge bodybuilding event. It's great. If you're in Orlando area, get tickets. BKFC.com. As we've talked about, Evan and I, it's going to be a small, like, boutique show. Not a ton of tickets. So if you're going to get them, you got to get them now. I don't know how many are remaining, but I would get him now. And you can watch it, obviously, BKFC.com on the app. You got a world title defense there. I know Crystal, the Rugged Beauty Pittman's going to be there. You got Julian Lame returning. You got Murat Kazgan out of Turkey, who apparently has set our Instagram on fire. He's so popular with the Turkish people. Then you got BKFC Thailand. That's coming up November 4th. I mean, this is a dream match. This is a dream match for Muay Thai fans. Special Muay Thai rules. If you want to know what they are and you missed the show, I think it was last week, you go to the BKFC.com, grab the app if you don't have it, and you can see what the special rules are. We outline them. It's really cool, and it's going to be an awesome fight. We're really looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome. I keep saying awesome, but it is. Then BKFC Bulgaria. I'm told tickets move like crazy for this. I'm told that the people of Bulgaria are really pumped about this. I'm not going to try to attempt to say those names, but I do know there's some of the top fighters in Bulgaria. We went over there. We had tryouts November 17th. We're going to see what Bulgaria, if I can speak, has to offer. That's going to be another good fight. Look at this, all in the month of November.
I'd say it.
Which we tried that last week. I don't know. I'd have to see him in front of me too. I can say Danny Christie. We know Danny Christie well versus Jared Warren. Light heavyweight bout November 18th. That's in Leeds, UK, United Kingdom. So it's UK versus America. We know how tough Jared Warren is. We've seen how hard he hits. I'm excited to see this. I know you are too, Evan. Danny Christie, he's another guy that's just tough as nails. So this is going to be a fight that we're really looking forward to. All of that, BKFC.com. BKFC.com, grab the app. You can get in and you can be a part of it. Bulgarian fighters look like monsters, Big Ben says. Let's see. Big Ben wants to go to Thailand, he says. They're going to be in the Warrior Zone. Everyone pretty excited. So someone said, quality outburst there, Brian. I didn't know you had that dog in you. Well, thank you. I don't really.
Brian's prone to outburst.
I have outbursted a couple times for real. That one wasn't super real. That's kind of just a joke.
You better hope it wasn't real.
You want to fuck? If you want to fuck,
do I want to what?
If you want to go, what camera? This one. You keep changing on me. If you want to go after the show, Evan. Listen, you guys are great. We're really excited to come see you in Columbia, South Carolina. BKFC 52, full speed ahead. Until next time, we appreciate you. Live from Satellite 5. See ya on the road to BKFC 52. It's fight week, so remember, get bucked up, jerk offs, and knuckle up. I'm not going to pull anything out this time. I'm not going to break the can either. Fuck it, I'll break the can. Here we go. Hear that? I got the dog in me. Let's go, BKFC 52.
I'm coming to hurt you. The mentality is to come finish you as quick as possible.
You got something I want, I'm coming for it.
Are you not entertained?
Oh, this is war, baby. Like, we're going to go out there and we're going to throw down.
More big shots, left hand, and that drops Coda Greenwood for the second time in this fight.
Greenwood looks very hurt still.
Now in the